Psalm 78 verse 1.
Psalm 78 verse 1.
Give ear, all my people, to my laws. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. John chapter 6 verse 4. Hear, O Jacob, a higher power is one power. Exodus chapter 20 verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day. Remember. Thus says a higher. Thus says the King of Judah. Thus says the King of Jacob. Thus said, I am that I am. Remember the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day. To keep it holy. So be it. Greetings from the bride of Canaan unto the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, of day of the patience of the kingdom of Yeshua, and also of the hope of the resurrection. My salutations with the hands unto the believers, saying Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
And to the non-believers we say repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Good afternoon. Title of the lesson: Tithes and Offerings according to Melchizedek. Now if you be the most high, we are going to 1 Corinthians 16:7, James chapter 4 verse 14, Acts chapter 18 verse 21. We'll do our due diligence to conclude the lesson, and if not, we'll move it over to the next festival of the Sabbath. Now there are things most of all these theologians don't understand when it comes to tithes and offering. These were all these theologians of this era, the error. If any man observe the law according to the Most High, according to the heavens, or according to what is written in the heaven, ordained for the Israelites, they will not err when it comes to tithes and when it comes to offering. Now there are two forms of tithing, and there are vows of various categories. The vow you made to the Most High is between you and the Most High. Is what comes out of your mouth. Offerings, there are two forms. The two forms of tithe are arbitrary. They are compulsory. Now the offerings of the Most High comes on the festivals. For instance, when I say weekly, Sabbath is a festival. Sabbath is a feast day, and Sabbath is every week that the Most High gave to the Israelites every year. 7 days in a week, 364 days in a year, 52 Sabbaths in a year. Is that understood? So every single 7 days of the week is a feast day to the Israelites. Okay, and it's also a day of offering. That's according to the law of the Most. I'm dealing with the law of the Most High God. I'm not dealing with Catholicism and all this Constantine Christianity. We are dealing with the Ancient of Days, the true order of tithes and offering. When it comes to offerings is given on the festivals. Okay, when I mean the festivals, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the first fruit, the Day of Atonement, the memorial blow of trumpets, Feast of Ingathering, or the Feast of Tabernacles, or the Feast of Light, then the Feast of Dedication, then you have the Feast of the Poor, or Feast of the Purim, or the Feast of Lot, okay, which is Feast of the Casting. Then you have the Feast of the Fastings also too, okay, and you have the Feast of the New Month, or the so-called New Moon, which is every quarter of the year, based on the 4 seasons of the year, which is the spring, summer, autumn, or fall, and then winter. That's when offerings are given. So offerings are given on the festivals. Okay, on the festivals, that's when offerings are given according to the scriptures, not according to me, not according to any man. You understand what I'm saying? For you to be able to understand the Most High, you have to start from the ancient. That's why it's called the Ancient of Days. If you ignore the ancient and you are dealing with the New Testament, you will error. That's where most of these theologians get it wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to break down the principles or the dogma, the moral dogma when it comes to tithes and offering. I will not skip rope. You know, don't be your kind, I don't skip rope. So I will break down tithes, offering according to scriptures, according to the Most High. What is applicable this day and what is not applicable this day, based on circumstances, based on prophecies, certain of these commandments, ordinances and other commandments. So certain of these commandments that the Most High gave to us and the ordinances thereof, they are not applicable today. So we will digest it in this lesson. Deuteronomy 26 verse 12. Let's go, son of man.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 12. When thou hast made an end of tithing.
When thou hast made an end of tithing.
All the tithes. Of thy increase. For which year?
The third year. The what?
Third year.
So the Most High says, when thou hast made an end of tithing, all the tithes of of your increase. Increase in what? Increase in your commodities, increase in your business. That's what the Most High is saying. But is it every month? Like all these present day theologians are saying, bring your tithe every month to us, and if you don't bring it, the Most High will curse you. Who told you that? Who told that the Most High will curse you? So the theologians enforce it on people to be paying, giving their own law. Now we'll deal with that according to Christ. That's why this lesson is titled Tithe and Offering according to Melchizedek. Remember the lesson we taught a long time ago under the Wonders of Our House Creation series. Who wrote the 10 Commandments? Christ is the law. So when we are dealing with the Melchizedek, God don't change, because Christ wrote the law even before man exists. Before even man exists in the spirit in the heavens, before every single one of us were created on the same day in spirit in the heaven, okay, the law has already been ordained for all generations. And Christ wrote that law. Christ is the high priest in the heaven. So it does not, even when he came down to this earth, it doesn't change. He brought down the same message that exists on the heavenly tablets. He brought it down to this realm. Colonialism and slavery brought about this new Christianity, these new teachings that Christians are adopting today. That's the issue. And that's why you see people supplicating for what they're not supposed to be supplicating for. The real supplication people are supposed to be doing to get back in code, get back in order with the most. They're not doing it. We're just keeping the commandments first. If you want an increase, you understand what I'm saying? If you want an increase, you need to first of all obey the sovereignty, obey the Most High, because there are principles to get the increase. Just for instance, you are applying for a job. There are things you need to do to be able to get that job. And also, you need to have a certificate to be able to qualify to apply for a job. And if your certification is approved or is up to standard, they will employ you. And also, then you get acquainted in, and then they pay you for your dues. And also, so how can the Most High reward us for our dues if the Most High give us principles to be employed in this organization? What organization? The organization of keeping the law. How can the Most High now employ us into this organization and now pay us, pay us levy, or pay us our labor, or pay us our what they call that word, wages and salary? How can the Most High pay us wages and salary if we are not meeting up the requirement of the qualification to be accepted in His kingdom, to receive that increase or income? So that's where the issue is. The issue is not the Most High. The issue is us. The issue is people not finding the truth, searching out. That's where the issue is. So the moment people begin to search out and find the principle, the moral dogma that the Most High have said for all creation, you understand, to get that increase, then everything will be fine. Then you get your increase with ease, without pressure. But of course, it comes with patience, because the Most High will try you, because there's evil throughout the earth. So the Most High will try you before you get that increase. But the issue with these generations is that they're not patient. So therefore, anyone that bring a message to them, so-called good news to them, and say this is the good news of the Lord, just in the sense of that good news, speaking about money, getting money, being prosperous. Nothing wrong with prosperity. Prosperity comes with obedience. Without obedience, there's no prosperity. Whatever things you think you have carnally, that is not prosperity. If you're not obeying the principle to get that prosperity that you think that you have, that prosperity is a failure. So in solving tithe and offering in this Sabbath lesson, we'll break it down according to the real ordinances given to the Jews, or given to the Israelites, or the Bantu people, which are God's choosing people from the beginning. Because you must understand, the things that are to be had been before. So the Most High has ordained, even though Israel came in the latter generation, okay, after Adam, the Most High has ordained Israel before, because the Most High knew, the Most High see in front, knew that people will sin. So in order to get people back in order, which is this order we are doing right now, the Most High has to establish a nation that will bring people back to order. That nation failed, and this is where we are today. So we are going back to that stage in the beginning where those nations sin, where the old generation sinned before God established that nation to bring them back in order. You see, that's time we are now. We're in that era before God established Israel, where every man is working according to his own way, according to his own principle, according to his own commandment, instead of according to the commandment ordained by the heaven. Read again. Jump to 26:12.
Verse 12. When thou hast made an end of tithing, all the tithing of thy increase, the third year, which is the year of tithing.
Which is what?
Which is the year of tithing.
Which is what all the men?
Which is the year of tithing.
So the third year, which is the year of tithing. God is saying the year of tithing is every month. God said the third year, which is the year of tithing. That means every 3 years is the year of tithing. Now we will see if this every 3 years is still applicable today. Read.
Has given it unto the Levites, the strangers.
And has given it unto the Levites.
The strangers.
So you give it to the Levites every 3 years. You must give this tithe every 3 years to the Levites and to the strangers.
The fatherless.
The fatherless.
And the widow.
And the widow, that they may eat within thy gates and be what?
And be filled.
And be what?
And be filled.
And be filled. Amos 4:4. So the tithing is every 3 years. Take it now. Remember I said we have two forms of tithing. The tithing that comes every year and the tithing that comes every 3 years. The offerings comes on the festivals. When it comes to the offerings, they are compulsory offerings and they are free will offerings. I hope you are following. The tithes are arbitrary, okay, but they come every 3 years. That's what the Most High said, not every month. As Christians, all these theologians are teaching, all these cross religions, they are making error. Okay, using flattering lips to deceive the people, to enrich their pockets, okay, with fitting lucre, just to enrich their pocket, not devouring the scripture in righteousness. Because when you devour the scripture in righteousness, you understand what I'm saying? The venom that's going to come out of the mouth will be in truth, not in the manner of death. God says every 3 years. Show me where God says every month. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Show me where God says tithe comes every month. You must pay tithe every month. Or show me where God says you must pay tithe every single week. Show me that in the law. You see, the reason why people are deceived is because people don't study the book for themselves. If you study the book for yourself from the beginning, from the ancient of days, from the ancient, which is the old, to the end yourself, you'll be spiritually impacted. Then if somebody bring a message to you, what you have read would have stayed in your brain. Then you compare to what the person is telling you, compare and contrast. What the person is saying, this person is telling you is true, or because nobody knows everything. So if you present certain things that I've known, that I've read, and it's not in line with what is in scripture, you challenge that theologian. But people don't challenge their theologians. They don't challenge. They just ask questions. They don't think that the theologian tell them they will accept it. They won't challenge. Yes, they may ask questions, but once they ask questions, they won't be able to challenge because they don't study the book by themselves. So they're asking what they do not know. In most cases, at least they're supposed to know most. They ask the few they don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Or even if they're asking the most, they're supposed to know more, ask more. But Christians of today, when they ask questions, they are not asking questions to challenge. They are asking questions that whatever their pastor tell them, they will accept it. Yes, not having a sense of their own, of what they read and be inspired by the Most High. They don't have that. That's where the issue is. Because they're not reading the book by themselves. So when the pastor reads a passage in the scripture, they don't know, they will ask questions. That's only what they ask upon. Not upon what they've read or studied on their own, in their own cabinet, on their own chamber. Because their mind is not towards the Most High. Their mind is not directed towards the Most High. Their mind is directed towards what they want, towards the kind of things they want. That's why you see your theologians concord messages. Okay, they go home, concord messages just only for prosperity. They don't concord message for history. Because your theologians know that if they teach history, people will run away. People won't study, they'll begin to sleep. Because they know that people don't want that. So therefore, when they are composing their lesson, they teach on Holy Sunday. They concord messages to enrich their pocket and to give people what they want, which is the fitting lucre, which is the enticing lips that the Most High condemned in Psalms 12, verse 3 to 4. Even Paul speaking in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 from verse 2 to 5. He said that for we do not speak with enticing words of men's wisdom. Amos 4:4.
Introduction, book of Amos, chapter 4, verse 4.
Now remember, we started with the law, is that not so? Yes. Now we are going to the prophet. What is read?
Verse 4. Come to Bethel.
Come to Bethel,
and transgress.
And transgress, okay.
As Giga. Multiply transgression.
Multiply transgression.
Bring your sacrifice every morning.
Bring your sacrifice every morning, yes.
And your tithes.
And your tithes, how long?
After 3 years.
After what?
After 3 years.
After what?
After 3 years.
After what?
After 3 years.
No, after every month.
After 3 years.
So the Most High says, after 3 years, bring your tithes. Now, if you look at tithes, it's in plural. Okay? So this is the tithe that is given every 3 years. Not every month, nor every week. So he said after what? After 3 years, bring your tithes. Now watch this, Leviticus 27, verse 30. Let's put that is a tenth. Read.
And all the tithes of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree.
Now pay attention. Tithe is not necessary money. Now pay attention. Tithe, once again, is not necessary money. Watch what God is saying here. All these theologians are deceiving people, and they make tithes to be compulsory, to only be about money. You understand what I'm saying? So tithe is not about money. Let's go.
Verse 30. And all the tithes of the land.
And all the tithes of the land, yes.
Whether of the seed of the land.
Whether of the seed of the land, it's not necessary money. So you take it. God is saying of the seed of the land. That means the fruits that go from the ground, like the cocoa yam, like the yam. You understand what I'm saying? Like the beans. Is that not so?
Yes.
The plants that grow seed, that spring into fruit and is ripe for harvest. That's the seed of the land, yes.
Or of the fruit of the tree.
Of the fruit of the tree, like your palm kernel, like your palm oil, like your banana, like your plantain. Is that not so? Yes. The things that grow from the tree, like your apple, like your oranges, or the fruit of the tree. These are the principles of tithing that the Most High is telling the children of Israel. It's not necessarily has to be about money, currency, or paper, or notes. No, read.
Is the Lord. It is holy unto the Lord.
It is holy also. When you bring it, it is holy before the Most High God. Remember, the tithe is after every 3 years. Amos 4:4, Deuteronomy 26, verse 12. Read.
Verse 31.
And if a man at all redeem aught out of his tithes, he shall add there to the fifth part thereof. Read.
Verse 32.
And concerning the tithe of the herd, that means the tithe of the animals, the flocks, or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod. Read.
The tenth.
The what?
The tenth.
The what?
The tenth.
The what?
The tenth.
So the tenth.
Shall be holy unto the Lord.
The tenth shall be holy unto the Most High God. So if you are bringing any tithe of animals, okay, the tenth of it shall be holy unto the Most High God. That's what the Most High is saying. So what is the percentage of tithes you will bring of all your increase that the Most High has blessed you with for Israel, keeping the commandment? Because the whole goal of the Most High telling the children of Israel to bring a tenth of their increase is because the Most High knows that He has blessed the children of Israel, proving them to obey His commandment. Because the Most High proved the children of Israel if they will keep His commandments. When you read Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 1 to 4, God proved the children of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? God made the waters bitter to prove the children of Israel if they will keep the commandments. When they came out of Egypt, God tried them. You understand? After they crossed the sea of reed. You understand what I'm saying? God tried them to see if they will keep his commandment. God said it there in the precept in Exodus 15, verse 22 to 27. Okay, and in Deuteronomy 8, verse 1 to 4, God proved the children of Israel to see if they will keep the commandments. So God was still patient with the children of Israel, even when they got into the land, the main land, which is the land of Canaan, which is one of the region of the land of Israel. So once they get there, you understand what I'm saying? God still was still patient with the children of Israel. That look, I will still bless you. You will still be prosperous. But keep my ways, observe my commandments. Because when Israel got into the land, when you read the book of Judges chapter 1 from verse 27 to 35, Israel did not blot out all the inhabitants that they met there. The Canaanites that was residing there. You understand? So those aborigines that were there. Aborigine not because it's their land. Aborigine because they stole it. When you read the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, from verse 8 to 35. Okay, Canaan trespassed in a land that was not his. You understand what I'm saying? And his brothers warned him, but he will not listen to his brothers. He will not listen to Ham. He will not listen to Put. He will not listen to Mizrahim. You understand what I'm saying? And they made an oath with Noah when Noah came out of the ark, and the Most High divided all the region of the earth for Noah and his 3 sons. Then also, Noah and his 3 sons in Genesis 10, verse 1 to 3. Canaan was supposed to go to his part that is allotted to him, that is allotted or that was poured to him. But instead, he went to the region that belonged to Shem. And we know that Israel or the Abantu came from Shem, came from the genealogy of Shem. Or from, you understand what I'm saying? They came from their predecessor, Shem. So Canaan is not from Shem. Canaan is from Ham. Shem and Ham are brothers. Are we following? So Canaan trespassed. So when the Most High is now to give the seed of Abraham, that promised seed, Abraham, their land. You understand what I'm saying? God now told the seed of Abraham or Jacob, go to the division that belonged to your forefathers, which was allotted to him after the flood. You understand what I'm saying? And remove the natives that are there, which were the Canaanites that were living there, that was not supposed to be there. And knowing that a curse was placed, anyone who trespass his neighbor's landmark is a curse. So Israel went there and brought them. And when Israel came into the land, God said, destroy all the Canaanites you see there. Yes, there are 7 nations greater than that, like Deuteronomy 7 verse 1 says. Okay, but God said, look, I will give you the advantage over them. Fear them not. But when Israel got there in the book of Judges chapter 1 verse 27 to 35, they didn't destroy all the Canaanites there. They left them there. But see, God was patient. God said, look, I will leave them there to try you. Yes, because the Most High sent the angel in Judges 2. So when you read Judges 2, that's Judges 1, 27 to 35. So when you read Judges 2 from verse 1 downward, God, the Most High was angry with the children of Israel for not blotting out all the Canaanites. So the Most High now sent the angel to plague the children of Israel. Then when the angel plagued the children of Israel, the children of Israel began to complain as usual. Many say after death. But when they were warning them, destroy them before you go there, they won't destroy them. Now once they've got there, they now face the plague or the wrath of the Most High. They will now begin to cry like babies that they just born out of the womb, that are still in incubator. You understand? So people like medicine after death. They won't take it to warning before judgment. Before judgment, God will always raise up servants. Warn the people. This is what is to come. That's what I'm saying. Hearken unto me, return back unto me, and I'll do what? And I'll remove the evil I tend to bring to you. Same method, God don't change. The same method. So Israel refused to blot out the Canaanites that were in the land. You know what I'm saying? So when they got there, God was even still patient. So when it comes to tithe and offering, God even still blessed the children of Israel. Why? Because He was still proving them then, still. But when the transgression got too much, because sin is a transgression of the law, that's what 4 John 3:4 says. Even your NT, your New Testament define what sin is. Are we following? Yes. So even your New Testament says that sin is a transgression of the law. God was still patient with the children of Israel and still blessed them. Say, look, let me prove them if they will keep my commandments, seeing that they like the pleasure of the earth. Of course, you understand what I'm saying? Men are in tune to nature because man was made from the dust of the earth, like I've said before. Is that also when we read Genesis 2:5 to 7, man was made from the dust of the earth means the soil out of the earth. That's why I said off means the origin from inward. Man was made of the dust of man was made out of means something coming out from the ground. Are we following? Something coming out of the ground. That's not the surface dust. No, man was made of the dust out of the ground. You understand? So that dust is found to the soil, which is the black soil, which is the black skin like you and I, because Adam was black. You understand? So God knew that man is in tune to nature. So, and whenever man sees nature, man is always amazed because they share the same biochemistry. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of the electrons, neurons, and protons, man has the electromagnetic fields together with nature because we are of the same element. You understand also? Animals are made from the earth. You understand what I'm saying? Man are made from the earth. So when man sees nature, he's always in tune to nature. He's always in love with it because it's of that material. It's of that substances. So God understood that because we are flesh and we are of the same earth. So if we see the thing that is connected to us, that we share the same vibration or the same element, of course we will connect to it and we'll be attracted to it. You understand? We'll be allowed to it. So God was patient with the children of Israel, seeing that we are flesh and we are in tune to nature. But Israel will not see it. God gave Israel a span of time to change from their ways and come back to His commandments. Keep the laws we are doing this day. Don't serve two gods. God is a jealous God. That's what Deuteronomy 4:24 tells you. That's why Joshua told the children of Israel in Joshua 24, verse 14 to 16. Choose this day whom you will serve. Is it the God of the Amorites, or is it the God of the land where you came out from, which is the God of the Egyptians? Joshua said, "But as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High." What house? The house of those that are of the house of Israel. Those that are Israel indeed. Joshua said, "But me and my house will serve the Most High." What house? The house of those who are Israel indeed. So those that are in the house or the tabernacle of the Most High, that Israel indeed will serve the Most High. Those that are not Israel indeed, the Most High will destroy them. Nothing has changed. That's why the Most High destroyed the children of Israel in the wilderness. He proved them there so many years. They still get into the land. The Most High was still merciful. The Most High would have destroyed them by the way. That's what he told Moses in Exodus 32 verse 10. He said, "Get away from my sight, and I may destroy these people and build a more stronger and mighty nation than they out of you, Moses." But Moses was supplicated for the children of Israel. Before he now see the thing that the Most High is seeing, and now broke the tables of stone of the 10 commandments. He saw what the Most High is saying, he got angry. So you can see what the Most High is seeing every single day that man cannot see. The sin the Most High is seeing every single day that man cannot see. Moses saw it and he got angry and he broke the tables of stone on the mount. But the Moses didn't see it before the Most High saw it. The Most High saw it. Moses was seeing the mount coming down from the mount. The Most High was telling Moses, "Look, see what these people are doing." He was watching the earth, because the earth is a television unto the Most High from the heaven. So the Most High is watching the earth as you're watching your television, seeing what is going on, tuning into channels, seeing what is going on, seeing everything that is happening. So the Most High was telling Moses, "See, look, see what these people are doing." But Moses cannot see. He's only just hearing the report. You understand what I'm saying? But the signal is communicated to the Most High, because the Most High sees everything. Because everything came out of the Most High. But the Most High was still patient. He hearkened unto Moses. Most High was pacified. But Moses went there and saw what the Most High see, and saw the children of Israel dancing naked. Aaron intentionally made the children of Israel to go naked to their shame. Yes, he intentionally allowed them, though they were threatening him, but he allowed them to party the party they want to party, and even make them go naked, and even add sort to injury, to be to their shame. What shame? The shame that we are reading this day. Because through the records, we can see the shame of the children of Israel. So when the Gentile sees it, what happened? He says, "Is this the holy nation? Dancing naked like Gentiles. No clothes, nothing, just dancing naked." So the Most High is patient with the children of Israel. And he still gives us the prosperity to see if we will still change. But Israel will not see your word. You understand what I'm saying? Then the Most High said that, "Look, man shall not live by bread alone." It's not by you. Don't think that I put you here because of these carnal things. No, you are here because of me. That's why David says in the book of Psalms, "Let everything that has breath praise the Most High." But people are not praising the Most High in truth. Read.
Leviticus 27 verse 32.
And concerning the tithes of the head or of the flock,
even whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto the Lord.
The tenth shall be holy unto the Lord. Read. The tenth shall be what?
Holy unto the Lord.
The tenth shall be holy unto the Lord. So it's 10% of the increase every 3 years for the tithe. According to Amos 4:4 and Deuteronomy 26 verse 12, as we have read so far, is 3 years. And remember I told you the tithe is 2. The one that comes 3 years, the one that comes in every year. So this is the one that comes in every 3 years. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. All this tithe that comes in every 3 years, the Most High will tell you what it is for. It is for the Levites, for the fatherless, it's for the widows. Is that understood? Yeah. Now the ones that comes in every year, we will see what the Most High describes it. Those are the ones that you eat yourself. Your own tithe, you eat your own tithe yourself. Yes, your own tithe, you eat it yourself. That's the one that comes in every year. So we see it. So I'm breaking down tithes according to scripture, not according to man. Yes. There are two forms of tithes, remember. The tithe you bring every year, which you will eat it yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That tithe you eat yourself is the second tithe. That's the second tithe. This is the first tithe. The one that comes in every 3 years is what the Most High call the first. Yes. But this one that you eat in every single year is the second, which is what you will eat yourself. You that offer it, you eat it yourself. You will eat it in the tabernacle of the congregation. That's where you will eat it, in the temple. Exodus 25 verse 1.
King James Version, book of Exodus 25 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses. Saying what? Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto who?
Speak unto the children of
Israel. So speak unto the children of Israel, not unto the nations of the world. Speak unto the children of Israel, the holy nation. Like Deuteronomy 7 verse 6 says. A peculiar people, like Deuteronomy 14 verse 2 says. Israel is a peculiar people. That's what Deuteronomy 14 verse 2 says. We are not for peculiar means special. We are special unto the Most. All nations of the earth are like unto spit too. That's what God says in the book of 2 Ezra 6 verse 56, and it's also in Isaiah 40. Even in the Quran is there. When you read the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah 2, it tells you that Israel is preferred above all nations. The Mohammedans in their Quran, they know it, that Israel is preferred above all nations, because the Mohammedan doctrine is extrapolated from the Jews or from the Israelites. If you remember years ago, I broke down the lesson where I showed us the history, how Islam was formed. When you read the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, written by Rudolf R. Windsor, when you read page 48 of that book, Islam and Judaism, page 48, 49, 50 downward, understand? It shows you there how Muhammad was favoring the Jews. You understand what I'm saying? Just to learn from them. He was learning from the Jews. I can show it to us here. Hold on. Let me bring it out. Even in the Mohammedans in Abakara, they know that the Most High prefer Israel above all nations. Watch this. I'm reading the Medina. The Medina in the Quran is the New Testament. I hope you are following. Mecca is Old Testament to the Mohammedans. Medina is New Testament to the Mohammedans. I hope you are following. This is the Quran, the book of Al-Baqarah, Surah 2 or chapter 2, Iyat 47 or verse 47. Watch what it says here. It says, O children of Israel, remember my favor that I have bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over the wars. You see that? And I preferred you over the what? Over the what? Over the what? And I prefer you over the wars in plural. So even in the Mohammedans know that the Most High preferred the children of Israel over the one. Why is he saying that? Because when you read the book of Genesis, when God was trying to make an approval of the royal seed, of the choosing seed, didn't God reject Eliezer? God rejected Eliezer. Abraham presented Eliezer. God rejected Eliezer. Abraham presented Ishmael. God rejected Ishmael, but he said that, look, I've blessed him though. I've blessed him though, but I've rejected him not to be the choosing seed, the holy seed. Not to be the preferred seed. So the Mohammedans are not lying, because it's there in the Holy Book of Scriptures that God rejected Ishmael, because Ishmael is the foundation of the Mohammedans. Is that not so? Exactly. So God did not choose Ishmael preferred above all nations. No. So the Mohammedans is correct in what they are saying, because the Bible is before Quran. That's why you see the Mohammedans have to extrapolate context from the Scripture. I hope you are following.
Yes.
All right. Bible to Timbuktu. Now watch this. Let's go to page 48. Now watch this. Islam and Judaism. All right. This is from Babylon to Timbuktu, written by Rudolph R. Windsor. Islam and Judaism. The Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jew religion. I'm just reading the way it is here. From the Jew religion, it says, first of all, the basic idea of monotheism, which is the belief in one God, the Jew confession of the unity of God. You see that? Which is that Hebrew word, Shama Yasha Allah Ahaya Alahaya Na Wa Ahaya Akad, which is Hear O Israel, Ahaya, our power is one. Muhammad now adopted it. He now translate it to his own. He now say La ilaha Allah. You see, La ilaha Allah, Muhammad Rasul Allah. So that creed that the Jews used to say, you understand, say Shama Yasha Allah Ahaya Alahaya Na Wa Ahaya Akad. Muhammad now changed it because he adopted the principles of the Israelite laws to his own law, but he now flip-flopped it to his own. So he's trying to use that same creed of Hear O Israel, the Lord our God is one. He now uses his own. He says He says La ilaha illa Allah, Muhammad Rasul Allah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah. That's the meaning of it. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah. So they will read that, they will start their own lesson. So Muhammad adopted what was written in the law. Now, I'm not even going to the birth of Islam. This is Islam and Judaism. Now, if you go to the birth of Islam, it was the Romans. It was the Roman Catholics or the Romans that initiated Islam. Yes, Islam is a religion. It has not been of old. It's a formulated religion. Just as this Christian of today is a formulated religion. Just as by Constantine. Because the true Christians were the Israelites. They were not bound by religion. They were bound by law. That's what God gave Israel. God didn't give Israel religion. God gave Israel laws of the earth, laws of the land, laws of the ground, where you came out from. This is the law of the region where I created you. Obey the law of the creation. That's what the cosmic energy says. What's the cosmic? Cosmic means cosmos. Cosmos is the heaven. Who is the heaven? The Most High. Which is the omnipresent, meaning it's everywhere you go. The energy, another for energy is what? Power. Another for God is power, which is the cosmic power, the higher power, which is the Most High God. So the higher power now gave man, who was created out of the earth, the law of the earth. Just as he gave angel the law of the heaven, he even told man the law of the heaven. God even told man the law of the heaven and the law of the earth. That's when you read the book of Genesis chapter 1, you see time. Is that not so? When you read the book of Genesis chapter 1, you see time that was pointed to the angels to resume the office. Are we following?
Yes.
So Muhammad extrapolates his customs. You understand what I'm saying? From the Israelites, which is the original seed, or the original royal seed, the original priesthood. Like Peter said in 1 Peter 2, verse 9. He said, but ye are a choosing generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. As we are doing this day. So we are showing forth the Most High praises in true righteousness. Because what we are doing now is praising the Most High, delivering his message. As I'm saying, dropping that doctrine that shall drop like the dew, like God saying, drop that 2 verse 2 to 3. He said, my doctrine shall drop as the rain, and my speech shall distill as the dew. So the Most High doctrine will drop as the rain. As I'm saying, we drop in righteousness, because rain is for blessing. If it disobeys, for cause. Yes. And through that cause comes all this avalanche, all this hurricane and typhoon you see. Yes, I'm saying, but for blessing, it just showers down. and the man has food to eat, and there's no inflation. But the reason why there's inflation, because God is doing it intentionally, and letting people to see their error. Rain is falling, God is blessing the land, but you are suffering. You have minerals in your land, but you are suffering. God is doing it intentionally to punish the children of Israel, because they don't want to open their eyes to see. Return back to the Most High, the Most High will return back to you. The Most High will appoint leader that will be there, that will favor you. Israel don't hear what, that's the issue. Exodus 25, read.
Book of Exodus 25, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses,
saying what?
Speak unto the children of Israel,
speak unto the royal seed,
that they bring me an offering.
That they bring me an offering. So now we're going to the offerings here. They bring me an offering, yes.
Of every man.
That
giveth it willingly.
That do what?
That giveth it willingly.
That do what?
That giveth it willingly.
That do what?
That giveth it willingly.
So this is the free will offering. That giveth it willingly. So this in this part is the free will offering. But they are offering that Israel must bring as a must. But this one is the free will offering. That's what I'm telling you. There are free will offerings, and they are offering that we must bring as a must. Especially during the festivals, like for atonement. You see what I'm saying? You must bring an offering which is a must. But this one is a free will offering. Like I've said in this lesson, I will show us what part of the law, when it comes to tithes and offering, is applicable today. Is tithe still applicable today? Is offering still applicable today? And if tithe is applicable today, which manner of the tithe is applicable? And if offering is applicable to today, which manner of offering is applicable? Or is there any of them applicable at all? So that was what we devour in this lesson, according to the law, to this day. Because God don't change. But you have to understand prophecies. Read.
Verse 2. Speak unto the children.
Do not use Christ to confuse the whole thing and Paul. No, what is what they affirm. Read.
Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly.
Yes.
With his heart, ye shall take my offering.
So take it from any man that bring it willingly from his heart. Verse 3.
And this is the offering.
And this is the offering
which ye shall take.
And this is the offering which ye shall take of them. If they bring it to you, accept it from them. Not necessarily money. Read. So let's see the manner of offering that the Most High is acceptable to the Most High. So God said, if they bring this offering, take it from them. It's not arbitrary, you must bring money. Read. Now mind, this is the free will offering. Watch this. As of we always make it arbitrary, we always bring the offering that they want. Because they don't teach according to the laws. Read.
And this is the offering.
Yes.
Which ye shall take from of them.
Yes.
Gold. Silver.
So if any man has gold and they bring gold, take it from him. If he has silver, take it from him. Yes.
And brass.
If he has brass, take it from him.
And blue.
Blue is the color of a material. Go on, take it from him.
And purple.
Purple is the color of material. Scarlet is the color of material. Yes.
Fine lining.
Fine lining is a pattern of material. Pattern, not color, but pattern of material. Yes.
Goat's hair.
Goat hair is a material. Yes.
And
ram skin dyed red is a color of material and a pattern of material. Ram skin dyed red. Next one. And badger skin is a material. As you have your fine lining. Read.
Shitting
wood. So if they bring wood from tree, if they cut down the tree, if anyone has a farm or a garden and they cut down the tree, you understand what I'm saying, and gives you wood, which you can use as firewood or use to cook your food or lighting a particular place, take it from me as an offering, as a free will offering. Read.
Oil from the light.
Oil for the light, because you can use palm oil. In the ancient time, you can use palm oil or so-called granite oil to lighten the fire. Hope you know that. You can even use olive oil. Go to your Bible and search olive for light. You see the oil is not necessarily kerosene or gas or petrol. Hope you are following. Read. Watch this. So all these are acceptable as an offering to bring before the Most High, that the priest must collect, or the Levites which serve the priest. You understand? Like Numbers 3 verse 5 to 7 says, because the Levites will serve the priest. The Levites are those that arrange the tabernacle, set up the seats, take the offering of the children of Israel. So even though the two came from the same lineage, but the priest and the Levite are separate in their office, but they came from the same lineage, which is Levi. Read. The Levites serve the priest, but they are from the tribe of Levi. But the Levites, serve the priest. I hope you are following. Read.
Verse 6. Oil for the light.
Oil for the light.
Spices for anointing oil.
So if they bring spices to you, spices like perfume, things of perfume, take it from them. And for sweet incense, so if they bring spices that you use for incense, to burn incense, or for anointing oil, to mix with the anointing oil, take it from them. Read.
Oil stones.
So they bring oil stone, take it.
And stones to be set in the ephod.
And stones to be set in the ephod, all kinds of stone. Carbuncle, emerald, you understand what I'm saying, topaz.
And in the breastplate.
So these are the manner of offering you bring before the Most High God. Is that understood? Give me Numbers 18:24. Now watch this. The Levites also too will pay tithes also to the priest. I hope you are following. The Levite that serve the priest in Numbers 3 verse 5 to 7, we pay tithe to the priest, sons of Aaron. In Exodus 29 verse 1 to 9. The priestly lineage comes from the Kohathites. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 1 to 4 brings down the lineage of the priest. For remember, Kohath gave birth to Amram. Amram gave birth to Aaron, Moses, and Miriam. Then God chose Aaron. So Aaron is from Amram. Amram is from Kohath. Kohath is from Levi. Levi is from Jacob, which is Jacob. I hope you are following. So Merari and Gershon are the Levites. I hope you are following. The brothers of Kohath, which is Merari and Gershon, sons of Levi, okay, are the Levites. Levites, which serve the priest, which is from Kohath, where Aaron came from Amram. Is that understood? That's the lineage. So we're not confused. Read. Like I said, we're dealing with tithes and offering according to the law. So the Levites, which come from the tribe of Levi, we serve the priests, which also come from the tribe of Levi. They will also pay a tithe to the priest. Watch this, read.
But the tithes of the children of Israel.
But the tithes of the children of the tithes which the children of Israel bring every 3 years, as we have seen so far in Amos 4:4 and in Deuteronomy 26 verse 12. So, but the tithes of the children of Israel, yes,
which they offer as an eve offering.
Which they offer as an eve offering, yes.
Unto the Lord.
Yes, I have given to the Levites.
To inherit.
I have given it to the Levite to inherit, as we read in Numbers 26. God said that when you bring the tithes every 3 years, give it to the Levites, and also give it to the Levites, give it to the fatherless, give it to the motherless, give it to the strangers. Is that what God says?
Yes.
So you must give to the Levites. So when the tithes of every 3 years is given to the Levites, it's given to the Levites as their portion, because they have no portion among the children of Israel. They have no land to rear cattle among the children of Israel. You understand? So when you are bringing something, give it to them. So now the Levites too must pay custom to the priest.
I have given to the Levites to
but the tithe of the children of Israel, which they have offered as an eve offering unto the Lord, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Yes.
Therefore, I have said unto them,
among
the children of Israel,
they shall have no inheritance or land of their own. So therefore, if they want anything, their brothers will give it to them. That is to say, the 9.5 tribe and the remaining 2 tribes will give it to them. Read.
Verse 25. And the Lord spake unto Moses.
Saying,
Thus spake unto the Levites.
Indeed, speak unto the Levites, yes.
And say unto them.
Say unto them what?
When ye take the children of Israel.
When you take off the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given you from them, which they gave to you every 3 years. Read.
For your inheritance.
For your inheritance, for you to have a possession of your own, so you can earn a living for yourself, or a wages or an income for yourself. Then ye shall offer an eve offering. You must offer an eve offering, okay?
Of it for the Lord.
Of it for the Lord.
Even a 10th part of the tithe.
Even a what?
Even a 10th part of
so the tithe. So even a 10th part of the tithe, that 10th part of the tithe that we read earlier on, that 10th part, remember the 10th part we read earlier on. So the children of Israel must offer the 10th part of it. The children of Levites must offer the 10th, which is a tithe to of their own, unto the Lord. And we will see that some of it in the New Testament with the Pharisees. God don't change the same method. Okay, read.
Verse 7. And this your eve offering
shall be reckoned unto you as though it were the corn of the threshing floor. That means the measurement, as you put corn on the threshing floor, that will be the measurement of what you will offer. Read.
And as the fullness of the winepress.
And as the fullness of the winepress, yes. As I see you are pressing a grape, matching grape or something on the floor. The fullness of it, yes. Because that's the manner of the way they beat something to pieces. Read.
Thus ye also shall offer.
So in this ye also shall offer an eve offering unto the Lord of what?
All your tithes.
Of all your what? Of all your tithes, yes.
Which ye receive of the children of Israel.
Yes. And ye shall give thereof the Lord's eve offering to who?
To Aaron the priest.
To who?
To Aaron the priest.
To who?
To Aaron the priest.
So the Levites will give an eve offering of the tenth, which is 10% of all their increase, of all their income that they receive every 3 years for the children of Israel. Now imagine how much of the offering the children of Israel will give unto the Levites. They will have so much, because already God has already blessed the children of Israel in their land. The land is fertile. It's a fertile land, which is sub-Saharan Africa. So there are so many cattle breed. God bless them to those cattle to be fruitful and to multiply. So they multiply. It's also because wherever the children of Israel is, serve for blessing. And when the Most High was with the children of Israel, he served as a blessing. Is that also? That's why when Joseph was in Egypt, it was a blessing to the Egyptians. And also when Jacob was serving Laban, it was a blessing to Laban. Is that also? So how much more Israel now in their land? So God multiply their cattle and say, give of tenth of all you have. Read.
Verse 29. Out of all your gifts, ye shall offer every eve offering of the Lord.
Yes.
Of all the best thereof.
Of all the what?
Of all the best thereof.
So you must bring the best part of this. That's what the Most High said. When you are giving the tithe before the Most High, let it be the what? The best part. If you are giving the offering to the Most High God, let it be the what? The best part. See what I'm saying? That in this discipline, read.
Verse 30. Therefore, thou shalt say unto them, when ye have given the best.
Now take it. There are certain offering that you bring before the Most High. The Most High will not consider it. Okay, even if that offering is not too is not well set, even if that offering has a blemish, God will accept it from you. But there's certain offering that you bring before the Most High, that the Most High, you must bring the best part. Aside your tithes and the main offerings for the festivals, you must bring the best part out of it to offer you, especially the one for the burnt offering. Any offering you bring for a burnt offering before the Most High God must be the best part. Of all the other type, you can bring it as you please you. But the one you bring as an offering, as a burnt offering before the Most High God, you must bring the best part of it. That's arbitrary. Read.
Verse 30. Therefore, thou shalt say unto them, when ye have given the best thereof from it, then it
when you are giving the best thereof of it,
then it shall be counted unto the Levites as an increase of the thresh floor.
Then shall it be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor,
and as the increase of the winepress.
And as the increase of the winepress. You see that as the fruits grows from the tree. You understand what I'm saying? As fruits go from the tree, which your brothers take and give to you. As the fruit go from the tree, which belong to your brothers. When your brothers bring their tithes to you every 3 years, they will also bring more to you. You understand what I'm saying? Because the Most High will bless them. If you Levites will obey what I tell you, you understand what I'm saying? I will also make an increase in what you receive of your brothers. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Give me Deuteronomy 40:22.
King Version, book of Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed.
So God said, thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of your seed. So all the increase that you have as an increase, you will tithe it. Remember, the tithe is every 3 years and also every year. Come here, Shahala. Come here, Shahala. Happy Feast of Tabernacles. Read.
That the field bringeth forth year by year.
That the field bringeth forth year by. Read it again. Listen very carefully. Read.
Verse 22.
Listen very carefully. This is the tithe of every single year. Listen very carefully. Read.
Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase.
So thou shalt truly tithe all the increase
of thy seed.
Of thy seed.
That the field bringeth forth.
That the field do what?
That the field bringeth forth.
For how long?
Year by year.
For how long?
Year by year.
So that the field bringeth forth year by year. So you must tithe what the field bringeth forth year by year. You see that's of the children of Israel, the 9.5 tribe and the other 2 tribes, not the Levites here. Because it's what the Levites receive, what the 9.5 tribe brings, and what the other 2 tribes, which is Benjamin and Judah, bring and give to them as a tithe. So I'm dealing with the tithes of every single year. Now watch this, read. Verse 23.
Verse 23. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
Which is the business you do. But we know back then, most of the children were into farming. They also trade. They also do buying and selling. I'll show us that there. They also do buying and selling too. This one is the second tithe, yes. So for your increase in your businesses, whether it is that time or now, but we know back then most of our people are into husbandry, livestock in general. They also sell cloth. They also have silversmiths, goldsmiths. If you read the book of Exodus, God blessed one man from the tribe of Judah who was skillful in silversmithing or goldsmithing to design the Ark of the Covenant. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. There's all kinds of craftiness, all kinds of vocation that exists, all classification of jobs that exists back there, apart from husbandry or farming. So farming is just one of the most populous and most sufficient way of business or lucrative business back then during the ancient time. It's still done today. Nothing is new under the sun. There are goldsmiths today. There are silversmiths today. There are bronzesmiths today. And also there are people doing farming as business today. And also, so it's still the same method. Nothing is new under the sun. Even of the children of Israel in our land, that's even most tropical. Read.
Deuteronomy 14 verse 23.
Deuteronomy 14 verse 23. Read.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord.
And thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt eat before the Lord.
And thou shalt do what, all the men?
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
So the offering in verse 22 that you bring, that the land produce year by year, verse 23 is telling you that, and thou shalt eat that tithe that you bring, that the land produce before the Lord your God.
In the place which he shall choose.
In the place which he shall choose is Solomon's temple. That's the main place where you eat the tithe year by year before the Most High God. Read.
In the place which he shall choose.
In the place which he shall choose.
To place his name there.
To place his name, because the Most High place his name where? Where did the Most High place his name? In the temple in Zion, in Mount Zion. That's where the Most High place his name there. That is the temple of the house. That's where the Most High put his name there. Yes, it's the land of Israel, but in Zion. I hope you are following. Read.
The tithe of thy corn. Of thy wine.
He said, in the place which he shall choose to place his name there.
The tithe of thy corn.
The tithe of your corn.
Of thy wine.
The tithe of what?
Of thy corn.
The tithe of your corn. So it is not about money here. Once again, remember Exodus 25, 1-7. Okay, the tithe of your corn.
Of thy wine.
Of thy wine.
of their oil,
you understand?
and the firstling of the heart,
And the firstling of your heads, and you see that, and of thy flocks. So it's not telling you money. There's no way you measure money here. That when you are bringing a tithe year by year or every 3 years, you must bring money. Read.
that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God.
That may do what?
That may learn to fear the Lord thy
That
God.
may do what?
That may learn to fear the Lord thy God.
That you may learn to fear the Most High your God. What
Always.
verse?
Verse 23.
Verse 23, yes.
Always.
Always. So if you obey, this is the second tithing that you bring before the Most High year by year, which you yourself will eat. Yourself in the place which God will choose, which is Mount Zion. That's where God put His name there. It's like in the kingdom of Judah. Hope you are following. Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the capital of the kingdom of Judah, because Israel was split into two kingdoms. You have the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Ephraim. Okay, Samaria is the capital of Ephraim. Jerusalem is the capital of Judah. Hope you are following. Where God chose to place His name there is the region where David built, where David drove out the Canaanites above the mountain, which is on the hill. Then David named Zion. Samuel 5 verse 7. He says, nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion. The same is the city of David. And David said on that day, whosoever gets up to the gutter and smite the Jebusites. Jebus is one of the sons of Canaan. Genesis 10:15-19. It says, and the lame and the blind that are hated of David's soul, he shall be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, the blind and the lame shall not come up into the house. Wherefore they said, the blind and the lame shall not come up into the house. Come up into the house of where? In verse 6. And the king and his men went, and the king is David, and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites. You see that? So the Jebusites were living in Jerusalem. You see that the inhabitants of the land, which are the Jebusites, the natives that were there, the land does not belong to them. He said, we spake, because Jebus is from the seed of Canaan, and after us Canaan stole that land. It does not belong to him. In Jubilees 10 verse 10-35. He says, the inhabitants of the land, the Jebusites, it doesn't belong to them. We spake unto David, which is the king, in the first paragraph in verse 6, that came with his men, the soldiers, the armies, saying, except, so the Canaanites were threatening David, except they were threatening and making mockery of him. Except thou take away the blind and the lame, where? In Jerusalem, where they are staying. Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in here. Come in here, up to the gutter, up to that gutter in verse 8. And David said on that day, whosoever gets up to the gutter and smite the Jebusite in verse 6, that we are reading now, that we're living in Jerusalem up to the gutter, because Jerusalem is built upon a mountain, which is Mount Zion. That you see Christ standing on Mount Zion, or Mount Zion, in Revelation 14 verse 1-2. Hope you are following. Yes. Or like Ezra saw in 2 Ezra 2 verse 38-47, where Ezra saw a lanky man standing on Mount Zion with so many saints. Hope you are following. So Mount Zion or Jerusalem is built upon a mountain. Hope you are following. Yes. All right. So that is the place where the Most High, that's the house where the Most High placed His name. That is the house of the Lord. I hope you are following. Let's go back here. Deuteronomy 14. Deuteronomy 14:23. Read. Tithes and offering according to Melchizedek on this Sabbath lesson. Read.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God, in the place which He shall choose to place His name there.
In the place which He shall choose to place His name there, in that place, to be the major city. Read.
The tithe of thy corn.
The tithe of your corn, the manner of tithe you will bring, not money, tithe of your corn.
Of tithe wine.
Of thy wine.
Of thy oil.
Of thine oil.
Of the first
of the firstling of thy hairs and of thy flock, yes.
That thou may learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
Always, you have to learn to fear the Lord your God always. That's what the Most High upon His servant to bring for the knowledge, to elevate the mind, so people don't error. This is how your theologian is supposed to be teaching and explaining the principles or the concept of tithes and offering, beginning from the ancient, coming down to the new, but they won't do it this way.
Those things that they listed, you are going to cook them within that temple and eat them, because
yes, within the environment.
Okay, you are going to
that within the environment, yes, you cook it there and eat it. Yes, you will set up tents and cook it and eat it. That is the basic there. Because only my 4. All right, read.
Verse 24. And if the way be too long.
Now watch this. God said that if the way be too long for you to bring that tithe before the move, that 10%, that tenth or 10%, whenever you see 10 in scripture, it's 10%. Yes. That's the current language, percent. Percent is the current language, but in the ancient they call it tenth. Tenth is the same thing as 10%. However you want to call it, the same thing. Read.
If the way be too long for thee.
So God said, if the way be too long for thee,
so that thou art not be able to
carry. So that thou art not able to carry the animals, the hares, to come and eat it. Watch this, read.
Or if the place be too far for thee.
Or if the place be too far from thee,
which the Lord thy God shall choose to set.
Which the Lord God shall choose to set His name there, which is Jerusalem, which is in Kenya, Mount Zion. Read.
When the Lord thy God has blessed thee.
When the Lord thy God has blessed thee,
Then shalt thou turn it unto money.
So you return that material, that thing into money. That goods, you will sell it and convert it into money. Then you will now go and buy it again. You see that you will sell it, you convert it into money. Then shall you turn it into money,
and bind up the money in thy hand.
and bind up the money. So sell that animal that you want to cook and eat if it's too far for you to bring. Maybe you don't have the right caravan to move it, to transport it to Jerusalem. So if you don't have the privilege or the material to move it, or the caravan to move it, or the transportation to move it, sell that goat or that sheep or that ram and convert it to money, to currency. So you can see that currency exists back then. So the beginning of trading was done even during the time of Moses era. During the time of Moses was the 50th Jubilee, 2,500 years after Adam. This is where Moses was rehearsing the law. Remember, the book of Deuteronomy is the Deuterocanonical, which is the reciting of the law, of the first law, which is the second law. So whenever you are hearing second law, there's no such thing called second law. The book of Deuteronomy is the reciting of the law that God gave to the children of Israel. Moses was putting the children of Israel to remembrance of the law. When you read Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1 to verse 5, you will see that Moses was rehearsing it to the children of Israel in the 40th year, in the 11th month, which is the start of the book of Numbers, the book of Genesis, the book of Exodus, and the book of Leviticus, which is the book of Levi. Because Leviticus is from Levi. The Romans always put that course, Leviticus, Augustus. But the book of Levi, which is the book of priests. So the book of Deuteronomy is the second law, or the reciting of the first law. Let's read.
Deuteronomy 14 verse 25.
Deuteronomy 14 verse 25.
Then shalt thou turn it unto money.
So you will now turn that tithe that you want to bring to eat it before the Lord year by year, in verse 22, into money.
And bind up the money.
And bind up the money.
In thy hands.
Binding up the money in your hand, yes. So you can see that money existed back then. Read.
And shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
Jerusalem, read on.
And thou shalt bestow the money.
And thou shalt bestow that money.
For whatsoever.
So God said you must bestow that money for whatsoever your soul lusted after. So that means you can lust. It's good to lust after the carnal things, but in a good way. I've said that before when I taught on marriage. You can lust, but in a good way. Don't lust in an evil way. So in this manner, God said, whatsoever your soul lust after, buy it and what? And eat. Now we must know back then during this era, there was less of GMO. There was less of GMO back then, and less of all these foreign agents back then. So most of the food that you eat most of them are organic, the organic produce. And our system is built, you understand what I'm saying, to resist sicknesses, but because of the organic and electric pattern of food that we ate back then. Electric because it contains electromagnetic fields. Because we are of the earth, and the food is also of the earth. We share the same element. I hope you are following. That's why it's called electric food. Because electric is something that binds, that joins, that has vibration, that connects. That's how you connect. You connect through electricity. You know, so your phone goes through electricity. So some of them are invincible. Those invincible ones, they call them electrons. Read. And thou shalt do what?
And thou shalt bestow that money.
And thou shalt bestow that money that you bind in your hand.
For whatsoever thy soul lusted after.
It's whatsoever your soul lust after. Because this is the tithing you eat. This is the tithing you will eat yourself. You bring tithe and you eat that tithe yourself. So God will now accept that tithe from you yourself. Read.
For oxen.
So you can buy. So once you now get to the place where the Most High chooses, which is Jerusalem, you now go and buy, and you now go and buy with the money. So you can see that purchasing exists back then. It has not changed. Purchasing still exists today. Nobody so. Read.
For oxen.
So if it's oxen you like, you can buy ox. Or for sheep, if you want to buy sheep, you can buy sheep. Or for wine, if it's wine that excites you, you can buy wine. Or for strong drink, if it's strong drink that excites you, you can buy strong drink. So or for whatsoever thy soul desireth, he said, and thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice. So you will rejoice, thou and your whole household. 27, read.
And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not
forsake him.
For he had no part or no inheritance.
For he had no part nor inheritance with thee. Yes, read.
Verse 28. And at the end,
now pay attention now. Verse 27 connects with verse 28. Now watch this. Watch how God breaks the tithe of a year and the tithe of every 3 years. Now watch this. Remember verse 22 to 26 is the tithe for a year, which you will eat. Verse 27 going downward now is the tithe you will bring every 3 years. That's why God said you must not forsake the Levites. He said that's the precept we read in Deuteronomy 26 verse 12 and in Amos 4 verse 4, which is every 3 years. That's when that goes to the Levite. So the Levite will now keep some because it's a multitude. So the Levite will now keep some every year by year. The Levite will also fulfill this law to eat his own tithe himself too, because all children of Israel must eat their tithe. So how can the Levites that serve the priests eat their tithe when they don't have an inheritance? If you don't bring an offering to them, so the offering that the children of Israel bring to them, they will take out of it. They will keep some because some of them will still exist. Continue. You understand what I'm saying? they will still serve them for years to come. Because those animals they bring, the Levites will keep them and rear them. Is that not so? They will keep them, rear some. Those animals will breed. They will produce 2 of their own. So that the Levites can be able to bring their own tithes and eat it as their other 9.5 tribe brothers and the remaining 2 tribes, which is Judah and Benjamin. Hope you are getting it.
Since they
don't have an inheritance, so the tithes will bring every 3 years. Some will now remain with them, so that every single year they will still have a portion that they will bring as their own tithe that they will eat. But remember, they will also give to the priest. They will give to the priest, which is their senior in the office. Then they will also bring the one that they will eat themselves of their own tithes. Because the Levites are not excluded from the tithes, from the 3 years tithes and from the yearly tithes. I hope you are following.
Yes.
All right, let's read. So this is the principles of tithing and offering according to scriptures. Read. If you are following the law, not according to me, not according to me. That's why I say every single thing I'm bringing up on precept. I'm not speaking my own word. Verse 28.
At the end of 3 years.
So now from verse 27 downward, this is the tithe of every 3 years. It says, and at the end of 3 years, yes.
Thou shalt bring forth all the tithes.
Thou shalt bring forth all the tithes of your increase the same year. You see that the same year means every 3 years. It says, and shall lay it up within thy gate. You see that? So this is the tithe of 3 years. In the same chapter, it speaks about the tithe of a year and 3 years. This 3 years is the first tithing. Every year is the second tithing.
And the Levite.
Because
he had no part nor inheritance.
And the Levite, why? Because he had no part. Because in verse 27, God told you must not forsake him. You must remember him. And the Levite, because he had no part nor inheritance with thee. Yes.
And the strangers.
And the stranger.
And the fatherless.
And the fatherless.
And the widow.
And the widows.
Which are within thy gate.
Which are within your gate. So the strangers which are not of the seed of Israel that come to live in your land, that are poor. So the poor strangers that are in your land, of the Gentiles that come to cleave to the Most High, because God accepts the Gentiles. You understand what I'm saying? God, when we read Deuteronomy 23, verse 1 to 7, there are certain Gentiles that God accepts. When we read Numbers 15, verse 15 to 16, and Exodus 12, God said that one law and one ordinances shall be to him that is his own born and to a stranger. So any stranger that leave his own law in serving their own strange gods and come to serve the children of Israel, God will accept them, or certain of them will. Hope you are following. Because that's what God rejected in Deuteronomy 23. Be poor among the strangers, because the word stranger means not homeborn. A stranger means a foreigner or an outlander. You understand what I'm saying? Hope you are getting it. Read.
At the end of 3 years.
At the end of 3 years,
thou shalt bring forth all the tithes of thy increase the same year. Thou shalt lay it upon thy gate.
And thou shalt lay it up within thy gate. Yes.
Verse 29. And the Levite.
Yes.
Because he had no part.
Yes.
No inheritance.
Yes. Yes.
And the stranger.
And the stranger.
And the fatherless.
And the stranger, the poor among the stranger. Yes. And the fatherless. Yes.
And the widow.
And the widow.
Which are within the gate.
Which are within your gates. Which are within your territory. Which are within your landmark. Yes.
Shall come. And shall eat and be satisfied.
And shall eat and be satisfied. So you will eat. You will give to them out of what you bring, and they will eat out of your own tithe that you bring from your own land. If you're not able to carry it, sell it for money. Come to the place where the Most High choose. Buy it for whatever your soul lusted. Give a portion to this set of people: the stranger, the fatherless, the widows, the Levites. You understand what I'm saying? Give it to them so that they will keep the feast with you. That's why God told the children of Israel that the poor shall not depart from the land. That's not what God says. The year of release, that's the Lord, the year of release. So in John 15 verse 11, he said, for the poor shall not cease out of the land. He says, therefore, I command thee, saying, thou shalt open your hand wide unto your brother, to your poor, and to thy needy in thy land. Because the poor too are among the strangers. Then the needy, which can be the widows, which can be the fatherless, give it to them. So those that are within your gates or within your land, like Deuteronomy 14 used within your gates, but in Deuteronomy 15 it says within your land, which is within your gate. So open your hand and give it to them when it comes to the tithing. Read.
Verse 29. And the Levite, because he had no part, so he has need of, because he has no part based on inheritance, because the Levite is the most high's inheritance, so therefore he's in need. So he's also among the needy, like Deuteronomy 15 verse 11 says, read. And the Levite, because he had no part, no inheritance with the, which is the land inheritance, landmark inheritance, yes. And the strangers, because with land comes animal, no be so. With land comes the territory or the portion of animals. So if the Levite don't have land, how can they have animals? Because what it gives you the inheritance of animals is the land, is that not so? Because the animals live in the land and pasture out of the land, is that not so? So the Levite has no land, so therefore there's no animal for him. You understand? Because the animal live in the land, and therefore the land is given to their own brothers. So they have no portion. So therefore you must bring out of your land the animals out of your own land for a portion given to you as a tithe to the Levites, so that they can keep the feast of the tithing year by year and eat of the tithing of the second tithe, which is yearly. Read. Because he had no part. Because he had no part, because he's in need, like John 15 verse 11 says. No inheritance with thee. Yes. And the stranger. Which is the Gentiles. And the fatherless.
And the stranger, because the stranger is poor, or he too might be needy, because the stranger too might be married and he's a widow. You understand what I'm saying? So they fit in both categories, read.
And the strangers. And the fatherless.
And the fatherless.
And the widow.
And the widow, because they are need, because the fatherless is in need. The widow too is in need. Because the fatherless is a son that he doesn't have a father. Widow is a woman that doesn't have a husband. Read. So they are in need. Read.
Which are within thy gates.
Which are within your gates or within your land, like John 15 verse 7 use.
Shall come.
Shall come.
And shall eat and be satisfied.
Shall come and eat of your inheritance and be satisfied. So you will give to them that your tithes to them, and they will eat of that your tithe. If it is wine, they will eat. It must be anything edible. Read.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee in all thy work.
That the Lord your God may. So he say God used the word may. I may bless you. The reason why God used may bless you is that if you will obey what I tell you. So that comes the prosperity. So I will not give you what? Increase in your daily business. So when you are out there farming, in preparation for what? For what you will eat on daily basis, and what you will give for offerings, the free will offerings and the habitual offering and the compulsory offerings, and what you give for the tithings, for the two level of tithings. You understand? Say if you will obey me, then I will increase it. I may increase it. If you will obey, but that's the whole goal. God has no issue with blessing the land. It's what He created. But if Israel, God can give you something to your detriment. That's why you see people are having something and they are still complaining. They are seeing fruits growing in their land, but they're not enjoying it with pleasure. They are still looking for more. They are still hungry for what they are seeing that they can take. What they are seeing that you can take, you can go there and take it yourself freely. But you're not satisfied. You are still begging for more because it's a problem. It's a cause. But God is blessing that land. God is still blessing the land. The land is still increasing. But you that are living in the land, as though you reap out of it, you are still suffering. Because you're not keeping the law. Because God gave us time to prove us, but we will not listen. So over the years, because the sin has increased, God has said, okay, since Israel will not listen. Remember the curse in Deuteronomy 28 verse 50 to 68. The Psalm says that I will send in nations which tongue you do not know, and they will come unto you and they will oppress you, and you will have want of all things from them. That's why you see how people borrow money from IMF, from the World Banks, International Monetary Fraud, because they are fraud bank. It's not for fund bank, it's a fraud bank. We borrow money from there, and yet we have resources in the land. We have more resources and we are more rich than they, but we are borrowing money from there. It's a curse. It's a curse we are suffering from Deuteronomy 28. Verse 15. God said that, look, I will put you below them, and I will put them above you. That's what Deuteronomy 28 verse 43 to 45 says. And in verse 48, God said that you will have want of all things, want of clothes, want of water, want of food, and God said want of all things. So that those things that God mentioned is limited. But God used the word all things. So all things means every single thing that you desire of. And among those things is a religion that people are doing today. And that same religion is what leading them astray. Because it's the same Constantine that instigated and propagated a religion, that brought about a religion. Yes, I'm saying that is now putting people in jeopardy that you are seeing today. And people depend on that religion. That's why God says, "You want of all things." So if you want salvation, you're looking for salvation, you will go and seek it from your oppressors, from your oppressors, those that hate you. That's why God said that they that hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when not pursued. That's what God said in Leviticus 26 verse 17. Because Leviticus 26 is the same as Deuteronomy 28, the same thing with the curse. So those that hate us is who's reigning over us, because the Edomite kings of Rome are the one reigning over us. The fourth beast was by Daniel in Daniel 7:7. They are the one reigning over us to this day. The same thing John the Revelator saw, mystery Babylon. The same mystery Babylon that Jeremiah saw, Daniel saw, Isaiah the prophet saw. Those are the people reigning over us today. The people reigning over you today, the kings of the earth or the presidents, the royal bloodline of the earth, the Caucasian people you are seeing today, they are the one that hate you, are reigning over, or because they are the controllers of the earth. The Rothschilds, the Bilderberg, the Rockefellers, the 13 block, the 13 royal bloodline of the fallen angels. They are the one reigning over the earth. Your presidents are just puppets. So those that hate you are the one reigning over. This is the issue. When it comes to tithe and offering, and you see all these your theologians, all these your pastors, your theologians teaching the manner the way they teach, they will tell you bring your tithe every month. If you don't bring your tithe this month, you will double it and bring it next month. Or if you don't bring your offering, you must bring all you must, everything you must. They don't know what they are doing, because the blueprint of their doctrine is not from the law. The blueprint of their doctrine is from men. That is traditions of men that Christ condemned in Matthew 15 verse 1 to 4. Christ said that you make the law of the Most High void by your own vain tradition. By your own vain tradition. Because men introduce their own tradition, make the law of the Most High void. That's what Christ is saying. Because the law is supposed to still be kept. But sin now reduced that original concept that we're supposed to have when it comes to the Most High. When it comes to the law of the earth or the law of the land that we came from. Man don't understand the law of the earth anymore.
Man was given dominion over this earth and to understand the law of the earth, but we don't understand the law of the earth anymore. The law of our creation, of where we came out from. And we don't even understand our elements. That we supersede all the elements that the Most High created. Deuteronomy 14:29, let's go.
The Levite, because he had no part, no inheritance with thee.
And the Levite, because he had no part, no inheritance with thee, yes.
And the stranger.
And the stranger, which are the Gentiles or the non-Israelites,
And the fatherless.
And the fatherless, because we must understand the strangers are the non-Israelites that cleave to the children of Israel, that are within the borders or the land of the children of Israel. So give it to them. Those ones that honor me and fear me, they will also come to the place which I choose, and they will eat of that feast year by year among the Gentiles, excluding from the one that God rejected in Deuteronomy 23. I hope you are following. Because there are some that the Most High rejected that they will not be even to their 10th generation. Yes, Deuteronomy 23 verse 3. It says an Ammonite or Moabite, because Ammon and Moab are brothers. That is Genesis 19 verse 36 or 38. They are the sons of Lot after Sodom and Gomorrah destruction. Lot slept with his daughters and gave birth to Moab and Ammon. He says, an Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation. They shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. So this set of Gentiles, God rejected them. But there are some of them God accepts. Verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is your brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their 3rd generation. Do you see that? I hope you are following. So the Edomites that repent and cleave to the Most High, God will accept them. The Egyptians that repent and cleave to the Most High, that are within the borders, that choose to cleave to Israel, that want to learn from us the true way of the Most High God, like Micah 4 verse 1 to 2 says, where all nations will come to Jerusalem and say, let us go up to the mountains of Ahijah of Jacob, and we will learn from his ways, for the Lord shall go forth of Zion, and the word of God from Jerusalem. So the true teachings of the Most High will go forth from Jerusalem. That's what Micah 4 verse 1 to 2 says. Even Micah 4 1 to 2 is a prophetic word going to the end. If you start from verse 1, it's going straight to the end. Those Gentiles that cleave to the Most High are those that will be accepted to the kingdom. Because Micah 4 1 to 2 is even prophetically speaking. So it starts now. So all those Gentiles that accept the Most High now before the kingdom, before the righteous kingdom is established here on the earth. You understand what I'm saying? Are those that the Most High will accept. You understand what I'm saying? In Jerusalem. And we all know there are some Gentiles that the Most High will also leave. Even though they are not righteous, but God will leave them. Because those one must serve in rigor. When the kingdom is established here on the earth, when the Son of Man return and come here on the earth to establish the righteous kingdom, there are some wicked Gentiles, even though they don't keep the law before the Son of Man come with the extreme judgments. He will preserve those ones. Why? Because they must pay for what they sow. Fulfilling Revelation 13, verse 10. He that led into captivity must go into captivity. He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. So some of them will die, and some of them will leave them among the wicked one that sold us as slave. So they will serve us as slave, and they will serve with hard labor. Those ones that their seed are still doing wicked and refuse to change till the Son of Man come again. You understand what I'm saying? They must pay for the punishment that is due for their fathers. Their fathers did to us back then. Even though every man is supposed to bear his sin, that the son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, and the father shall not bear the iniquity of his son. Every man shall bear his own sin. If that posterity is still carrying the wickedness of his forefathers, you understand what I'm saying? Then that curse of his forefathers shall come upon their seed. Am I making this of no? Isaiah 14 verse 21 says, prepare ye the sword for their children, for the children of the Gentiles. Yes, he said, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. You see that? He says, for I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnants and son and nephew, says the Lord. So it's a future event prophesied by Isaiah. So the sons that still do the wickedness of their fathers, the posterity generation, even though their fathers are dead and did the sin, if their children to this day is still doing the sin before the Son of Man come again, their children will pay for the sin of their forefathers. Yes. As we Israelites are paying for the sin of our forefathers, even though we're not supposed to pay for the sin of our forefathers, but those ones that change will not pay for the sin. Because those ones that change will be accepted in the kingdom peacefully. Is that understood? So same thing to go with the Gentile. I hope you are following. That's why I'm giving us precept here. Deuteronomy 14.
And the Levites.
Because
he had no part nor inheritance with
and the Levite, because he had no part nor inheritance with thee, yes.
And the stranger,
the Gentiles,
and the
fatherless, yes, of the children of Israel,
and the widow,
of the children of Israel. Both can also be of the Gentiles too, but this part is of the children of Israel. Read.
Which are within thy gate,
which are within your land, like John 15 verse 11 says, shall come,
and shall eat and be satisfied,
yes.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee.
That the Lord your God may bless thee,
in all the work.
In all your work, meaning in daily businesses, your daily vocations. If the Most High observe from the heavens that you are observing his ways, this was the warning to the children of Israel, but Israel will not hear word. Read. That's why God gave children Israel the blessing and the curse. If you hearken unto me, all these blessings shall come upon you. But if you not hearken unto me, all these curses will come upon you. Israel will not hear. And God gave the Israelites span of time to change, but they will not change until they provoke the Most High. And the Most High cannot bear their transgression, their stiff neck. Read.
That the Lord thy God may bless.
So this is the true prosperity that ought to be taught. First with obedience, because with obedience comes prosperity. There's nothing wrong with prosperity, but prosperity comes with obedience first. That's the perfect way of prosperity. Read. That the Lord of your God may bless thee
In all the work
in all your works,
of thy hand.
of thy hand, yes.
That doest.
That thou doest. Jubilees 32 verse 8. Let's go.
And he tied all the clean animals.
And he tithes all the clean animals. This is Jacob,
And made a burnt sacrifice.
And made a burnt sacrifice.
But the unclean animals.
But the unclean, he tithes all the clean animals and made a burnt sacrifice with the clean animals, because you don't bring an unclean animal for an offering before the Most High. The Most High will reject it. Read.
But the unclean animals.
But the unclean animals.
He gave not to Levi.
He gave not to Levi his sons.
And he gave him all the souls of the men.
And he gave him all the souls of the men. Yes.
And Levi discharged the priestly office.
And Levi discharged the priestly office at Bethel. You see that before Jacob, his father.
In preference to his 10 brothers.
In preference to his 10 brothers. Watch this. This Levi, the original Levi himself.
And he was a priest.
And so Levi was a priest himself. The original Levi, the direct son of Jacob, was a priest.
Yeah.
So he discharged the priest office there at Bethel. Read. At a particular place to execute this part. Remember, this is a tithe. Don't forget that verse 8 says a tithe, and he tithes all the clean animals. So don't take it. Read. So I'm showing you the yearly tithe that was done. You understand what I'm saying? With the early set of the children of Jacob. You understand what I'm saying? Which is Levi and co. Because these were the early set of his children before the 70 souls. I hope you are following. Yes. The 70 souls in Exodus 1 verse 1 to 6. Read.
And Jacob gave his vow.
And Jacob gave his vow.
Thus he tithed again.
Thus he did what?
Thus he tithed again.
Thus he tithed again. So Jacob gave his vow. So this is a vow. I've told that vow are separate. That vow is between you and the Most High. If you are giving a vow or you're making an oath to the Most High, that's between you and the Most High. That one is personal. That one is a free. Whatever you agree with the Most High, give it in accordance. That one you will decide. You will decide just like a freeway offering. You will decide what to give. You understand what I'm saying? Read.
Thus he tithed again.
Thus he did what?
Thus he tithed again.
Thus he tithed again.
The tithe to the Lord.
The tithe to the Lord.
And sanctified it.
And sanctified it.
And he became holy unto him.
And he became holy unto him. Read.
And for this reason.
And for this reason.
It is ordained on the heavenly tablets.
Listen very careful. And for this reason, it is ordained on the heavenly tablets.
As a law for the tithing again.
As a law for the tithing again. Why is it saying tithing again? Because Jacob tithed again. Remember, the first tithe that Jacob tithed was the tithe for the 3 years. The second tithe that he tithed again is the tithe for the yearly. Watch this, read. And for this reason, it is ordained on the heavenly tablet as a law.
For the tithing again.
For the tithing again.
The tithe to eat.
The tithe to eat.
Before the Lord from year to year.
Before the Lord from year to year, which is in Deuteronomy 14 verse 22 to 23. You see that I say again. Because the first tithing is the tithing every 3 years of the tenth. So this very tithing of the tenth is tithing again, which is the second tithing. I hope you are following, year to eat. So Jacob tithed the first one, he tithed the second one again, which is the yearly one. Read. But the way he wrote it, look as if it's immediately. It's not immediately. The first tithing is tithing every 3 years. The second tithing is tithing that's that year. I hope you are following. Read.
The tithe to eat before the Lord from year to year.
Now mind you, if you tithe every 3 years, in that same year that you tithe your tithe, you understand what I'm saying? In that same year you tithe your tithe, you understand what I'm saying? you will still need to bring the tithe for eating, because the tithe you bring every 3 years is the tithe that you give to the Levi, the fatherless and the widow. I hope you are following. Is the tithe that you give to the fatherless and the widow and the strangers and the Levites, of which the Levi will take and give to the priest of his own portion as a tithe to his senior in his office. So even if you bring the tithe in the third year, in that same year again, you will still bring the yearly tithe, for the eating. Because the tithe of the eating is every single year. So therefore, the tithe of every 3 years must meet the yearly tithing. I hope you are following. The tithe of the 3 years, that you tithe every single 3 years, you count 3 years, then you tithe. That 3 year tithing will still meet the yearly tithe. I hope you are following. So that means in 1 year, in that same year, you will tithe the tithe of the third year. You will still tithe the yearly tithing of food. The one you will tithe and eat yourself. The one you will bring and you will eat. And you also give to the strangers to eat, follow you and eat. Remember, there are 2 forms of tithing. tithing you give, and tithing you bring to eat yourself. You will eat your own tithing.
For instance, now let's say as in the year 2010.
So let's say
your first year, your title will be in the next 3 years. That's 2013.
that's for the tithing of the 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
We've been in 2013. So in 2010, you bring yearly tithing. In 2011, you bring your yearly tithing. In 2012, you bring your yearly tithing. All this yearly tithing is what you eat yourself and share with the needies and the fatherless. Then when it comes to the 2013, the third year, where you tithe the tithing of the 3 years, which you will give to the priest, which you will not eat. You can't eat it. Which you will give to the Levi and to the fatherless and to the whoever you will give. Like God said in Deuteronomy 26 verse 12, which you will give to them. You will still tithe the yearly tithing again. You must still tithe that same yearly tithing in that same year. So that means you are doing 2 tithes in 1 year. I hope you are following. That's the law there. Read.
In the place where it is chosen.
He said, for this reason it is ordained on the heavenly tablets as a law for the tithing again. So it's there in the heaven. It's not mankind. This has been ordained in the heaven already. And God will change because the heaven is forever. And is the heaven not above us? So if the heaven is above us, that means that law is still there. Because the law is still existing, because the law is forever. Read. But the reason why I will show us if we still to keep this law based on prophecies, based on certain transgression. What is this? Read.
As a law for the tithing again, the tithe to eat before the Lord from year to year.
The tithe to eat before the Lord, year what?
From year
to year.
In the place where it is chosen.
In the place where it is chosen.
That his name should dwell.
That his name should dwell, which is Jerusalem and Zion.
And to this law.
There
is no limit of days forever.
And to this law there is no what?
No limit.
There is no limit of days forever. So this law still exists to this day. I will show us if we are to keep this law or not. I hope you are following. So this law still exists to this day. God has not changed. God don't change in his law. When it comes to the law of tithing. Verse 11.
This ordinance is written that it may be fulfilled from year to year.
This ordinance is written that it may be fulfilled from year to year.
In eating the second tithe.
In eating the second tithe before the Lord. You see that? In eating the second tithe. So you eat the second. This is the second one. The year to year one is the second tithe. In eating the second tithe.
Before the Lord.
That's why I use the word again. Jacob tithe again. Read.
In the place where it has been chosen.
Yes.
And nothing shall remain over.
And nothing shall remain over. That means in that year you bring that tithe, you must finish it that same year. Hope you are following. In the year you bring that tithe, you must finish it that same year. Hope you are following. So that tithe of when you eat must not go over to the next year. Because then it has become old. You understand? So you will burn it, you will throw it away. Read.
Where it has been chosen, and nothing shall remain over from it from this year
to the year following.
Verse 12. For in its year shall the seed be eaten.
For in that same year, his seed, whatever you bring shall be eaten. You understand what I'm saying? If you cannot carry it, sell it for money. When you reach to the place where the Lord shall choose, buy it for whatever your soul lost after. Finish it that same year. If you like it take you 10 months, finish it that same year. 12 months, finish it that same year. Read. That's what Moses is saying here.
Till the days of the gathering of the seed.
Till the days of the gathering of the seed, till the days of another harvest again. Read.
Of the seed.
Yes.
Of the year. And the wine till the days of the wine. And the oil till the days of its season. 13. And all that is left thereof and becomes old.
And all that is left thereof and becomes old.
Let it be regarded as polluted.
Let it be regarded as polluted.
Let it be burnt with fire.
Let it be burnt with fire for what?
For it is unclean.
For it is what?
For it is unclean.
For it is what?
For it is unclean.
For it is unclean. Read.
And thus let them eat it together in the sanctuary.
And in this, let them eat it together in the sanctuary. You see that in the sanctuary. So even if there's no space within the tabernacle of congregation, they can set up tents. You understand what I'm saying? And eat it there. Until that thing is finished. They will keep on coming down and eating it until that thing is finished. It's a feast. It's a festival. Read.
And let them not suffer it to become old.
And let them not allow it to become old. You see that? Read.
And all the tithes of the oxen and sheep shall be holy unto the Lord. And
all the tithes of the oxen and the sheep shall be holy unto the Lord. Now, if you look at this precept of the tithing, there's no compulsory measure of what you bring. I hope you are following here. There's no compulsory measure of what level of tithe you have to bring here. God did not measure the level of tithe you have to bring for this year to year tithe which you will eat. God said, buy it for whatsoever your soul lost after. Buy it and eat it. If it is drink your soul, Lord, that I buy it. Where your money reach, according to your capability. That's what God is saying here. For this manner of tithing that you bring. I hope you are following.
Yes.
All right. Read.
And all the tithes of the oxen and sheep shall be holy unto the Lord, and shall belong to his priests, which they will eat before him from year to year. For thus is it ordained and a graven regarding the tithe on the heavenly tablets.
But we know the tithes of every 3 years, God ordained. God said you must bring a tenth. I hope you are following. God said you must bring a tenth for the 3 years tithing. So God put a measure of what you will bring. You must bring a tenth of all what you have. Split it in your possession. If it's animal that you have, if it's oil that you have, so make sure that everything amount to tenth. So you must not bring the 10th part of your possession must not be all animals. The 10% of your possession, you could mix them up with animals, with yam, with clothes, with gold, with silver. Mix them up to form that 10% of all you have, and then give it to the. You understand what I'm saying? And then give it to the Levite, not priest, to the Levite. So you must not necessarily must be one type that you must bring. No. But for this 1 year to year, God does not say you must bring a tenth. No. Bring what you have and then you eat it. For whatsoever your soul lost, after buy it and you eat it. Is that understood? Any question? Not 10th, 10%. The quantity of all you possess, of all your revenue. Of all your revenue. You understand what I'm saying that you receive. You understand what I'm saying? And you minus capital, your income.
What about those low income earners? Maybe they only have
you calculate 10% of what you have and you give it. If you are alone, as long as you are working, you must bring something. If you're not working, then you fall in the category of father. You fall in the category of poor in the land. So if you don't have anything to give, you understand what I'm saying? Don't bring. What you do is you need to go to the place where the feast is holding and be there. Those that have must give it to you. They will see you and give it to you. If you tell them you don't have, they will give it to you. Because it's a feast, it's a festival. If you don't have, you must be in the place where it is celebrated. That's why God said in the place where He shall choose. So everybody will know that it's a feast. So it's like you hosting a party. Yes, it's like you hosting a party. And then anybody can come there and eat of the food of the party. A poor man can come and say, I want to eat. Serve him and give him the food to eat. That's what God is saying there. You start serving the food and the drink. Give him plenty, anything chop and be bellyful. That's what God is saying there. So if you don't have money to pay to bring that offering or tithe, like your dad say exactly, low income earner. You understand what I'm saying? That means you fall in the category of a poor person. And God said the poor shall not depart out of the land. That's what Deuteronomy 15:11 says. So you bring what you have, and then you go there, stay with those that have, and you eat from them. Is that understood? That's the law of the tithe of the eating year by year. To bring whatever you have. There's no how will I put it? There's no cost that God put upon it. There's no cost God put upon the head that you must bring. Or there's no amount God put upon the head you must bring for the yearly tithing. But for the 3 years tithing, God said you must bring 10%.
After 3 years.
After 3 years, you must bring 10%.
Give me break.
Yes.
The first time is 2010.
I've explained that already.
Yes. Whatever I bring to
Yes.
2011, the same to 2012. But when you reach that 2030, that one's for the
yes, for the Levite. And in that same 2013, you must tithe the yearly tithing of the. You still do the normal yearly tithing. Yes, and that one you will eat. Everyone will eat. That one does not have any. That one you don't. There's no amount of money you bring.
Second you bring. You bring your and still give the Levite.
You are bringing two tithings. Two tithings. The 3 years one and the yearly one. The one for the yearly for the eating. One you will eat. Yes. Yes. And that yearly one, there's no quantity God put upon it that you will bring. There's no quantity. There's no percentage God put upon it you will bring. That yearly one. But that's 3 years one. God says 10% of all your revenue. Any question? So if there be no question, tithe and offering, according to Melchizedek, continuing next Sabbath. Shalom, everyone. All right. The King James Version, the book of Revelations 22 verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come out quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter into the gates, into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And the spirit and the brass say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. The grace of Yeshua the Anointed be with you all. And we all say, so be it. Come Yeshua. All right. Ka. Tabarat, Wahalo, Kadash, Haya, Shamka, Ahaya, Walo, Hawalamjam, Walo, Hawalamjam, Bahashem, Yashaya, Aisha, Shamayam, Waharataza, Alashadia, Barakata, Tawala, so be it. Mighty men, daughters of Zion, you ready? Jacob is one. Choose that one, shadow one.